I am sharing my income from creative work since 2019. The main three are photography, books that I've written, and then painting, which didn't start until 2023. And I am not monetized on YouTube, so it's not income from that. So I do hope to make more than this in the future, but this is just, I wouldn't say realistic, but I'm like, well, people who make more money, that's also realistic. But for my circumstances and everything, this is just what it is. So in 2017 and I think 2018, I published a book. So this is what that is from. So I do need to share a little backstory first. We do not depend on my income. So anything I make is just extra. And honestly, probably the biggest thing my business helps with is taxes. But we also move a lot for my husband's work. So my income is kind of unpredictable and starting over every year or two. And also because we don't need my income, I'm not trying to like push myself and go. I am embracing a slower lifestyle and taking care of more things around the house, actually staying home and enjoying our home and using that. I'm like, we put so much money into our homes, and then also not having family and friends nearby. So we're either going on trips to visit them, or sometimes that means that we have to take care of everything ourselves because we can't just ask a friend to help with it. And so anyway, a lot of different things about this lifestyle, but very grateful that his income covers those kinds of things. But it is funny, like people will hear that I work and they think we have like this dual income, and mine is just like, you know, a few $1,000s a year. But okay, this is also before taking out expenses that I've put into my business. So anything like camera gear or paint supplies, or even like a website and those kind of expenses have not been taken out of these numbers yet. So it's more like the income of a hobby, but we treat it like a business. So, and it is something we're hoping to grow, and that when he retires, he can help me with these businesses potentially, and we can spend more time on it and build it up more and better, because we will be more local to one area for a long term. Okay, but anyway, so 2019, I made $1,939 from my writing. So books, or I had this thing come up, I guess because I was kind of talking about being a writer, and then they asked me to write this thing for a college. And so that was like a one-time thing, but it paid really well. So that's another thing about not overfilling my schedule, is that when stuff like that comes up, I can take advantage of it. That year from photo sessions, I made $1,245, and that was very interesting because I got my business license in April of 2019 and did not have my first paying client until September. And like, I think it was the end of September too, and the beginning of April. So I was kind of freaked out, like, what? How am I a business and don't have clients? But a few things helped me to get started with that. So anyway, the $1,245 came from September, October, November, December, but those are also some of the busiest times for photography. If you do like family photos, people are getting those for Christmas cards and stuff like that. So that's been pretty consistent, that people are hiring me more at that time of year anyway. So, I mean, the total was about $3,200. And then in 2020, I was still working on that writing project, and I made $2,753 from my writing or book sales. And from photo sessions, I made $6,810. So I was like, oh wow, this is amazing. Like I tripled or more than tripled my income. But 2020, people weren't going home to visit family and that kind of thing for the most part. So we were able to keep our distance, do a photo session outside, and then they could send the pictures to their families back home. So I think that actually boosted my income and number of clients. Also, we were still in the same city. We were still living in the same area. So that momentum had built. I had a lot of clients, so I was getting referrals from them, and also my pictures were all from that area. Like I had examples of pictures. Then the next year, this is what happened. I started trying to keep track of my income through QuickBooks or something, but now I'm really annoyed at that because I like the way I did it just on my spreadsheet, and now I don't have that information as easily. So this isn't necessarily exact, but from my photography, I then made $9,108. We were like half of the year living in the same location, and then we moved halfway through the year, but I was still, kind of getting clients. And I think I also was living close enough, like 5 hours away or something, to where I was still booking clients in that area, and I would just go back for a few days or something and do some photo sessions there. So that was helpful. Yeah, so 2020 I made almost $9,600, I believe, and then 21 I made $10,700 approximately, and then 2022 I made $18 from my writing. I really put that aside to focus on my photography. I didn't have a book idea. I felt like I had written what I wanted to write, and my photography was doing really well, so I just wanted to focus on that. Okay, I made $7,275, but I'm kind of confused how I did that because halfway through the year, we moved out of our house, and I just spent the rest of the year traveling basically. So I don't remember taking that many, doing that many photo sessions. But some of this may have been from wedding photography. I get paid more in advance when I do those. So all of those years I didn't make anything from painting. So 2023, same thing. I was still traveling for the year. We didn't have a home. That sounds crazy, but yeah. So basically what I'm saying is I do not have a typical life. So 2022, because I was traveling, not living in one place, and my husband was gone for work a lot, I started watercolor. And I already did a lot of acrylic painting, but that was just, here and there for fun, for my house, little paint parties. Not that I hosted, or I hosted them for free, for my birthday and stuff. But I kept seeing people's watercolor paintings, and I was like, I love that style. It is beautiful. And so this just gave me a chance to try it because I needed something to distract me with my husband being gone, and it was pretty inexpensive to get started. And I really, really liked it. And so I started posting to Instagram. And then in January of 2023, so I started watercolor July of 2022, I believe. And then in January, I had someone contact me through Instagram, which is crazy. People always talk about finding clients on Instagram, but for my photography, I haven't found any clients there. So this was interesting to me. But anyway, I made $72 from that commission, and it was pretty seamless. I was nervous because I'm like, who is this person? Just a stranger on the internet. But it went really well. And from having a photography business, I did have a setup for payment, and also I had where I knew to like have a contract that they sign and that kind of thing. So that was helpful. But then, so my husband came back, we moved across the country, settled down, and I kind of was just, setting up my home and everything. So I stopped doing my watercolor like for the rest of the year, pretty much. Then we went on a cruise for Christmas, and we were in Mexico, and I saw this woman painting and selling watercolors, hers, but also her brother's, and I bought some of each, and it really inspired me to start again. Oh, so anyway, wait. I also made over $6,000 from photography that year, and then from writing $16. And so 2024, I started painting again, and that's just kind of, for fun, doing a bunch of tutorials and using reference photos and everything. And then, so from my writing, I made $40. And this stuff is basically me not really promoting my writing. Like, I have a banner on my other YouTube channel that mentions my book. I mention my book in a few of those videos, and like I have a link to it on Linktree and stuff like that. But I don't really promote that very much. So this is really just like money that's just pretty simple, or some of it is also affiliates. I put it in there because I have a newsletter that I have affiliate links for, and so sometimes that will get a few bucks a month. So I did photography, but I kind of slowed it down because my husband's job is really busy. So, that's one benefit of having your own creative job that you're in charge of, because you can change your schedule as you want to. So I slowed that down because clients were basically just booking me when my husband was off, which was rare. But I do still love it. I love having it as a way to meet new people and go to beautiful locations at beautiful times of day. And then someone was asking if there's somebody who knows how to do watercolor painting, and she wanted someone to paint these wooden ornaments. It's like a local shop here, and it's a similar paint to watercolor. It's like a water-based paint. And so I was like, oh, tell me more. So, it's pretty tedious. It's not like a great paying thing, but it's fun. It helps me be able to get some more art supplies, gives me some practice. It's really pretty relaxing somewhat. I can listen to an audiobook while I do it. And I don't know that she needs help anymore because she hasn't asked me about it again. I think she hired someone else who can also do that and work in her shop at the same time. So I don't know if I'll have that for this year, but just from that, I did make $295 in 2024. So that was kind of cool. It's exciting to make some money from painting and get that experience in. And I also, in October, started this YouTube channel. So I am trying to grow it for this year and maybe have that as another source of income. I've got to figure out like if I want to sell my paintings or anything like that. But for now, it would just be awesome to get monetized on YouTube. But those are the numbers. So my mom's calling. Bye.